Morning, Sarita.
How are you doing?
Good, and how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I see the window behind me is the blind is down.
Yeah, I think I've got mine open as well.
Let's see. Yeah, it's the only boardroom available or office, so I think we'll just make it work if that's all right.
No problem. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the host quickly. Let me just find you.
A screen share so we can check that.
Sarita, here we go. Okay, then you can just check it for me. Make host. Okay, then if we can just check the screen.
Okay. Let's see, share screen. And it should be live on your side now.
Yes, it is. It's working perfectly.
Stunning. I just want to put it on slideshow. There we go.
Yeah, then it's working. That's perfect. Okay, good. All right. Well, we're still quite early. So you don't have a video at all, hey? You've just got PowerPoint.
Yeah, just PowerPoint. My lovely commentary to entertain you. Yes, we'll wait until 11 o'clock sharp before I start, right, Ange?
Yeah, I normally just wait till sort of a minute or so after. But I mean, we got quite a lot of people logged on already, so we'll just what is the time now?
It's 6 more minutes. So
yeah, 6 more minutes. So yeah.
Thank you for the time, though. I think we all, we were all pretty much zoomed out, I think, a couple of months ago. And now with this whole situation just kind of, carrying on, I think, I'm not doing sales calls in person at the moment. I'm doing everything by Zoom. Yeah. And it's, we have to do what we have to do to keep us all safe and just believe that the bounce back will come.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it's obviously been a lot longer than any of us ever thought in our life would happen. But I think that what's really nice for the South African market is that they are traveling domestically. So at least there's something for the local hotels, because obviously everyone relies a lot on the inbound. But some people have really come to the party with good rates. So that's been a blessing. And as I say, giving everyone an opportunity to travel, and there'll always be those people with money and they will travel. So let's see.
Yeah. Even from our side, and I will, when I go through the presentation, I will just mention this. It was so difficult for us. If we look at our input cost in terms of running the hotels, we basically had to decide whether we could put out specials like a less 50 or a less 60. And, it was very difficult for us because you also want to be mindful of not being seen as arrogant. Yeah. But, the decision that we made in the end was to sell on our low season rates, so our winter rates. And apart from that, we're still giving those, we call them length of stay discounts. But if you want to say a long stay rate, so be it. So apart from the low season rate, of course, which normally runs from 1 May until 31st of August, we're basically offering that from today up until the 31st of August. And then if you are booking a minimum of 2 nights, we still apply the 15% discount on your STO rate. And if you're booking 3 nights or more, we apply a 20% discount. And, in all honesty, we're not running at full occupancies, but we are actually, and I'm surprised, but we are actually seeing surprisingly strong demand, specifically over festive season at Leeu Estate. So I suppose the idea is that, yes, our occupancies are going to be lower, but the fact that we still don't have a full team yet, I mean, in terms of payroll also, we have to manage it now based on the size of the team and payroll in relation to incoming revenues. So it's actually helping us to manage that as well with our lower occupancies.
Okay.
But we just trying, the last thing you want to do is to appoint like a score of new team members now, and then kind of, in a month or two, it's a problem again. So we rather just that you know, in terms of limiting the team, and yeah, just to make sure that we can cope with everything. So yeah, always try and see that glass is being half full whilst it being half empty. So
yeah. Well,
it's
we've
just
made it this far. We have to carry on, hey?
absolutely. What is disheartening is to see that, you know, there's so many of our peers that are actually leaving the industry just because they can't sustain themselves anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's also, we have to survive, we have to pay accounts.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Hopefully we get some of those great people to come back, you know, when things return to the new normal.
Yeah, to the new normal. That will never be the same.
No. And it's so funny, the things that I used to take for granted, like just doing a site inspection and, you know, going on sales calls, now it's giving me so much like pleasure again. It's almost like a rebirth in a certain sense. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywho, and I just wanted to check. I'm going to try and keep it to 30 minutes. Is that fine in terms of the rest of the day?
Perfect. That'll be good. That'll be perfect.
Okay. And then I'll also allow time just for questions towards the end of the presentation, if that's all right.
That'll be perfect. Yeah, I see we've already got 29 people on. So let's just wait another minute or so, and then you can introduce yourself and then you can start. So we are, minutes away till 11. So let's just wait till 1 minute past, and then I'm happy for you to start, Sarita.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I just want to do a quick check on my side in terms of some of my slides. Here we go. And then I do have some new images, which is wonderful, just not on the rooms, but I will talk about the new art gallery, La Petite Colombe, moving up to Leeu Estate. So at least there is a little bit of new content, which is always good.
Perfect.
Okie dokie. So with German precision, I'm going to kick off. It's now 11.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome to start. Thank you, Sarita. You go for it.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. My name is Sarita. I am your main sales contact at Leeu Collection. And I look forward to spending the next 30 minutes with you. Thank you so much for your time. And I also just want to say, please stay safe and hang in there. Yeah, we just don't have a choice. We will get through this. Okay, so on my first slide, you will see that there is a mention of Linthwaite House, which is our property in the UK. I'm not going to spend time on that today, but I just want to use this platform to create awareness that we do have that property running in the Lake District on Lake Windermere in the UK. And then our plans are still on track to open a property in Florence in Italy in 2022. For today's purpose, of course, I do understand that our core focus is inbound business into South Africa. And of course, what we are getting from the local market at the moment is just also helping us in terms of getting through this difficult period. So all three of the properties, namely Leeu Estates, Leeu House, and Le Quartier Français, are located in Franschhoek. In terms of the differences between the three Leeu Estates, I always use our neighbors Montbrechal as a general beacon. It's about a 3 to 5 minute drive away from the two properties that we have on the main road. And those two would be Leeu House and then Le Quartier Français. These two properties have always been great for guests who want to unpack and walk and experience everything that the main road of the village offers. All 3 5 stars, and if we just peg them according to pricing point, Leeu Estates is the flagship. We then have Le Quartier Français and then Leeu House. It's a very personal thing in terms of how you perceive them, and it depends on your personal style. I quite like understated. So my number one is Estates. Then I love Leeu House, and then LQF is my third choice. If you do gravitate towards more color, you're probably going to say to me, I prefer Le Quartier Français. And therein lies the strength of the brand. We've got 3 hotels, 1 reservations team, 2 locations, and basically choice available to your guests. Right, so for those of you that have not visited Franschhoek, it's still only about an hour's drive outside of Cape Town. And although most of our guests are not self-drive, it also does lend itself beautifully if guests want to go on to Hermanus and properties like Grootbos down the coast for a little bit of whale watching. I always say Franschhoek, yes, it's definitely the food and wine capital of South Africa. But if you do have guests saying to you, well, Sarita, I don't drink wine, or I come from the US, I live close to Napa or Sonoma, why would I want to come to Franschhoek and spend time there? Please know that there are so many other themes and activities available within this region. So art, history, culture, just an active lifestyle, family travel. These would be some of the motivators that you can use in order to persuade clients that it's definitely worth at least a 2-night stay. That is our average length of stay for this region. I think just in terms of, you know, the number of leave days that internationals generally have available, once you back up the Cape Town nights and the safari portion, 2 nights is what we are left with. So if we then briefly have a look at the 3 properties, Leeu Estates, you know, I always say our parents lie to us when they say that they don't have favorite children. They do have their favorites. This is my favorite child between the 3. And I think long before COVID, you know, if you look at the layout of the property, it's always been designed for space and exclusivity, and it really feels like you can just breathe and come up for air. So essentially, we created Leeu Estates by acquiring 3 individual farms, and then we used the existing footprint in terms of the buildings, and we did a complete refurb. And our par room stock now basically sits at 22 rooms, floating between 1, 2, and 3 bedroom options in cottages, and there's also 6 bedrooms in the manor house. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the different cottages. This is just a little bit of a map of the estate to illustrate how many cottages or villas, if you wish, depending on the terminology, we do have available. And as I say, apart from the 6 bedrooms that is located in the manor house, which was the main building that we saw in the previous shot, we also have 2 rooms on top of the spa. And then the remaining rooms are literally spread out across the estate, all in cottages and ranging between 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, some of them with private hot tubs and also plunge pools as well. We are also able to arrange butler service and private chefs if this is something that you require. So if we have a look at the decor at Leeu Estates, it's very understated, very muted, loads of different textures. And remember I said LQF or Le Quartier Français is definitely the property offering more vibrancy. If you look at this palette and you say, actually, I want something that's a little bit more vibrant, beautifully spacious rooms. And again, just to mention, private decks, fireplaces within some of the room options, hot tubs, and then even private plunge pools. I really love this estate in the sense that you can walk. There's 2 separate swimming pools. The pool featured in this shot at the bottom right is basically the pool that is outside of the wine studio in the cellar quarter. And then just another option in terms of the cottages. We've also added a private plunge pool here within Vineyard Cottage. And then, yes, we're so very excited about the new content at Leeu Estates. I was hoping to share some of the imagery in terms of our new rooms with you, but alas, we've not done the shoot yet. Those rooms will be ready by the 18th of December, and I will just share some timelines with you. So one of the recent changes that we've had is that La Petite Colombe, which is the sister restaurant and belongs to the same group that runs La Colombe, Protégé, and Foxcroft in Cape Town. So they used to be located within Le Quartier Français. They closed on the 25th of October and then reopened in a brand new space. Very beautiful. I love the design elements here. So they're now located at Leeu Estates. It's definitely one of the highlights when you book your accommodation. I would always say, if your guests enjoy fine dining, please secure your table at this restaurant just to avoid disappointment. So that would be the first option. The second option in terms of dining is the restaurant that is called Leeu, which is run by Darren Badenhorst and his team. And this restaurant is located within the Manor House. It's about a 40-seater, and they serve French cuisine. So 2 beautiful options, and then of course a basket of different culinary offerings within Leeu collection. I will talk about the remaining restaurants as well as we go through the presentation. Also something new, our new partner that is running our spa is basically Healing Earth. We've also added to the spa footprint in the sense that when we opened, we had 3 treatment rooms only, and we've now increased that stock to 5 treatment rooms. One of them is a conversion of pomegranate that we also did during lockdown, and that is now our couples spa suite, which offers a private enclosed courtyard with a hot tub or a jacuzzi as well. So great for half-day and full-day packages. And please, just a reminder that we do welcome external guests at all of our outlets. In terms of the wine side of the business, Leeu and Leeu Family Wines at the Wine Studio, it's still one of my favorite value adds, is that essentially if you book accommodation at any of the 3 Leeu properties, you or your guest would qualify for a complimentary 60-minute wine tasting experience. I purposely mention, and as much as I love the wine tram, I just mentioned that we're not part of any of their routes because we've always been focused on a boutique style experience. So we never wanted buses of people coming through in a day. So know that it will always be limited in terms of seating, and your guests would be able to enjoy their tasting, essentially having their own sommelier throughout that period that they are spending with us. Then also Everard Reed, they've always been our art partner, and the new art gallery that's also open on the 6th of November is basically right next door to La Petite Colombe. It also includes a sculpture garden, and we are also, as they're settling in, we will be talking to them about just offering additional experiences. If you have guests that are interested in, let's say, a curated art tour with some canapes and bubbles, we can always look at offering that to you. And in my mind, where I would like us to go is that if you have guests that are really interested in the art angle, we could almost offer you an art route where you basically incorporate, you could look at an Element House, the Zeitmoka in the waterfront, the Norval Foundation in Tukai, and then even closer to us in Stellenbosch, the Dylan Lewis Sculpture Garden. So know that we are also planning on enhancing the art offering within Leeu as well. Just looking at the landscaping side of the business, Borkie Garden is one of the beautiful areas where we could offer a garden and art tour. And this offering is only available to residents. It is complimentary, one of our value adds, and generally runs for about 60 minutes, where we focus on the primary art pieces and the landscaping elements at Leeu Estates. So even for guests staying at Leeu House and LQF, this would be one of our offerings. We then move to the 2 properties on the main road. I just point out that you are able to walk from Leeu Estates to town. It would be about, depending on how fit you are and how fast you're walking, it's about 2 kilometers. So maybe about 25 or 30 minutes. Apart from that, we also have mountain bikes at all 3 hotels. So you can take the bikes and use that free of charge. Even if you want to go up to Leeu Estates, leave the bikes there and then take the shuttle down to the 2 properties on the main road again. And as I've mentioned, the shuttles, we've got complimentary shuttles running from Leeu Estates to the 2 properties on the main road, and then vice versa. And that is generally from 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. So know that Franschhoek is compact and it's easy to move around. Just in terms of house, this is the entry-level book of the three. It is also the smallest of the three hotels with only 12 bedrooms. And I always think this is a good option if you have splurged on some of the other itinerary components and you need to make the budget work. Beautiful sized pool. I always think beautiful mountain views, almost like a resort style feel considering we only have 12 bedrooms. Our rooms here and the look and feel is very comparable to what we offer at Leeu Estate. So again, quite understated, clean lines. And then just focusing on families, please know that we do have rooms with sleeper couches, and we also have interleading capabilities. And we really welcome children of all ages. So the moment, regardless of how young the little ones are, when mom and dad is happy to travel. I do know that it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult now with COVID, but we are able to cater for the kids fully, in the sense, not only with bed configuration, but full kiddies amenities. So gowns and slippers, age-appropriate gifting, food and beverage, spa treatments, and child mining facilities with an external supplier as well. Fully qualified, public liability, so everything is covered. In terms of dining at Leeu House, the conservatory is our dining option within this property. Very compact, cozy, and if the weather allows, also beautiful al fresco dining available outside on the terrace. And Darren, that is running Le Chien for us, is basically offering the food and beverage services at Leeu House as well. And he's also now taking care of Tuk Tuk, our microbrewery, if those of you that are familiar with that offering, which basically sits between House and LQF on the main road. And then our last property, Le Quartier Français, probably the one that is the biggest in terms of brand recognition, because it's been around for about 25 years. It is also the largest in terms of footprint, offering 32 bedrooms. That includes 2 freestanding villas. So since taking this on in September 2016, we've done a complete refurbishment. So everything is lovely and fresh. You only have the one swimming pool at this property located in the central courtyard. Again, I always use words such as whimsical, almost like a secret garden. Your property basically runs from the main road all the way through to Wilhelmina Road, so beautiful gardens and easy access to everything that is of interest on that main road. In terms of color, this is the one offering more color if you compare it to the likes of Estates and House. Certainly not as boisterous as the old LQF used to be, but we've incorporated the color through upholstering and then the artwork as well. And it was important for us to stay true to the DNA that the previous owner, Susan Huckster, established. So certainly you can see quite vibrant. There's also options here with private plunge pools. And then, of course, as I've mentioned, the 2 villas. Just a brief description on these 2 properties. Essentially, it is as you exit the guest parking on Wilhelmina Road, you turn to the right, and it's about 200 meters down that road on both corners. So you've got LQF Villa 1, which is a 3-bedroom option, and Villa 2, which is featured in this slide, is a 4-bedroom option. What I love about these 2 properties, of course, you're within walking distance to the hotel, and your villa rate still includes breakfast at Protégé, also offering full access to the hotel amenities. However, because these 2 properties used to be private homes, it basically offers everything that one would expect in someone's home. So fully equipped kitchen, lounge, dining room, TV room, as well as a plunge pool. And of course, again, private chefs and butlers are possible within these two offerings. All right, then just finishing off and having a brief look at the 2 restaurants within Le Quartier Français. Protégé is the first one, where basically in-house guests would be able to enjoy their breakfast in the mornings, and for the rest of the day, they offer small plates or tapas. We purposely, with La Petite Colombe being the other restaurant offering historically, we wanted something that was less formal, And yes, although it's more casual, you can still see that it's beautifully presented in terms of the color and just the use of fun elements. So tapas for lunch and dinner, and then the interiors, very clean lines, very understated. And I always say with our restaurants, we try and keep the focus on the food so that the decor is really just there in support, and that it doesn't actually detract from that focus on the food. I have not included a slide on Epice, but do know that Epice is the restaurant that has moved into the space that La Petite Colombe has vacated within the Quartier Français. So when Marigold, our Indian restaurant that we used to have, closed down in September of last year, Epice basically opened in that same space that is opposite Leeu House. And now with LPC moving up to Leeu Estates, Epice has moved into the Quartier Français. Know that it is the same team that runs Protégé and La Petite Colombe. And basically, just in terms of giving you some guidelines on the cuisine that they serve, it is basically, they describe it as a spice journey with global influences. So not just India, but India, Japan, Denmark, Spain, Mexico. So it's a lovely melting pot. They reopened on the 27th of November, so it's the first week of trading, and they plan on trading 7 days a week. So yeah, their website is active, but I just wanted to mention that. And of course, I will update my presentation as I have those images. Then in terms of corporate social investment, in this slide, you see our founder, Mr. Analjit Singh, and Nicolette Waterford, our head of PR and marketing. I know that corporate social investment is not everyone's cup of tea, but do know that if you have guests that is interested in this thread, there are a number of initiatives where Leeu is involved in the local community, and we are able to help you with some content. Then just a nice wrap up of everything that is new. I've touched on most of this, but really just a summary. So La Petite Colombe has opened at Leeu Estates, and they've been trading there since the 6th of November. Everard Reed Art Gallery also opened on that same day. I've touched on the conversion of Pomegranate that used to be a one-bedroom cottage and is now a couple's spa suite. And then just in terms of the reopening of our accommodation at Leeu Estates, the rooms within the Manor House is opening now on the 4th of December. And then our 3 new cottages that I've mentioned will be ready from the 18th of December. Just in terms of how we are trading at the other 2 properties, to be honest, demand is not strong enough for us to be operational at all 3 hotels. So Leeu House remains fully closed for the time being, and we'll monitor that situation as we do see changes in supply and demand. Le Quartier Français is open, but currently only trading on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night within the week. And then when Leeu Estates opens, because we've got the spa and the wine studio and the restaurant there, we do plan on trading 7 days a week. And in all honesty, with everything that is new at Estates, we are enjoying quite strong demand, specifically over the festive season. And then just back to Le Quartier Français, Epice has reopened there last week. And then Oku is the brand new restaurant that basically took the space that Epice vacated. I'll just briefly mention that it's also run by Darren, Darren who's running Le Chien for us and those other components. They serve authentic Southeast Asian cuisine. And as I say, it's one of the offerings that we will present when you ask about food and beverage and the choice within Leeu. Then complimentary services, just to wrap up. Is really, everything that one would expect. If I can just highlight the little ad hoc ones, so it would be the wine tasting, once per guest during your stay at the Molyneux Wine Studio. I've mentioned the shuttle service, and then apart from that, the complimentary garden and art tour is what also stands out to me. And that's about it. I just want to end by talking about our rates that we are offering at the moment. So we don't have SA Res or SADC rates. I have mentioned to Angela before we started that we've opted to sell on our winter rates at the moment. And this is basically from now until the end of August 2021. We will, of course, if we start seeing spikes in demand, this may change, but we will definitely give you a timiest update. You know, let's say a week or two, so that you know that we are returning to our normal seasonality in terms of rates. Apart from the fact that we're selling on our low season rates, we are also still honoring the length of stay discounts. If you want to call it a pay stay or a long stay rate, essentially what we offer here is a 15% discount on your STO rate when you book consecutive 2 nights, or a 20% discount on your STO rate when you book 3 nights or more. So do know that that is applied proactively. You don't have to ask us for that discount. It is available across all channels. So let's say the client goes onto booking.com or one of the other OTAs, they will see that 15 or 20% discount. Know that you, as the trade partner, you are completely protected, because of course, when the consumer books it directly with us, that discount is applied on rack. Whereas when you guys book it with us, it's applied on your STO, protecting your margin in terms of your mark. I just want to mention the blockout dates for the length of stay discounts is basically from the 23rd of December 2020 up until the 3rd of January 2021. And then the second period falls over the Lions Rugby Tour, which we're really holding thumbs for going ahead. And that period is from the 25th of July up until the 6th of August. And then we've returned to our normal blockout period for next festive season. So that would be 20 December 2021 up until 28 February 2022. But apart from that, that is all of the news that I have for you. I just want to give an opportunity if there are any questions before I let you go. We've got about 5 minutes remaining. So please do interject or please do share your question if there is anything that is not clear.
Thanks, Sarita. That was great. Very informative. Does anybody have any questions for Sarita? No, looks like you've covered it all, which is good news. So yeah, thank you for that update, and let's hope that we get lots of customers there over your festive season.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for the opportunity. Angela, I will send you a very concise summary of the main points that I've touched on, so that if you do want to filter that through to the team, and if they do have questions that pop up, you know, going forward, they're also welcome to reach out to me individually.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Sarita.
Thanks, Sarita. Bye-bye.
Take care. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.